goddamn Minecraft. Thank God. I've been waiting for this for a week. It's now illegal to play Minecraft on any other day than Mondays. It's a new law in Tennessee where I live. Anyways, now I can finally play it because it's Monday here in Tennessee, y'all. Alright, so we're back on the plateau. I'm gonna do mostly mining today. I think I'm also gonna set up a farm with a couple crop areas. Here's where we're at. You know, I need another screenshot of this because the title screen's out of date. Sweet. Got one. Alright, so we need some food. Get rid of that. Probably get rid of the glider. Don't need a mine with that. Don't need an axe either. So get rid of those as well. Get some extra torches. Let's see. Glider, axe. Definitely don't need any dirt. Get dirt down there. Let's grab this and add some more coal here. So what? That's fine, right? That's a lunch. So yeah, that's plenty. What else? Oh, more food. Let's see. Have we got anything in here? Nope. That's not food. We'll bring this. We'll bring these berries too. And hope that's enough. We'll bring the bow. It's only 11 arrows. Yeah. All right. We'll bring the bow. Let's fix up this pick real quick. So yeah, they recently made Minecraft illegal on any day except for Monday where I live because there are too many people playing Minecraft all the time, and it just it was causing lots of problems. So that's how it is now. It's only legal on Mondays. I finally had the food bar explained to me in a video that I watched. So I think I understand how the food bar works now. So I'm like double saturated right now. And the little gray blocky clover is, let's stop it at 36 here. I'll look around. I want to go a little bit deeper to 30 though, right? Yeah. Ah. So the little gray over is like how long until it moves down a notch. And then the orange is your actual, like, your full bar. I think that's how it's supposed to work. It's pretty complicated. I don't know why it's so complicated. It seems like if it's too complicated for me to easily understand, either I'm an idiot or it's trying to convey too much information. Probably, 50-50, I guess. I hope. It's always fun mining, especially if you haven't done it in a while. Some goddamn torches down. This pick's pretty basic. It's just cobalt, so it's nice and quick. It's got a titanium handle. And what is it? A dark binding. So it's a dark steel, I guess. I think I made that by accident, if I recall correctly. And so I was just like, oh, hey, I've got a binding material. I'm wearing armor that makes me magnetic, so I didn't need to have a binding that was made of iron. I'm gonna go down here and actually jump in a cave because I haven't found anything interesting so far. Not that I've dug particularly far. Go back to the shaft. And it's like all I want to do is dig. Reference? No? Okay, probably not. Probably too obscure. Here's the multicolored wizard ore. Crystal ore of some kind. I don't know what that's for. Magic? Wizardry? Some sort of wizardness? Some sort of magic? A simple kind of magic? Oh, hold on. Gotta have redstone. Everybody needs redstone. What else do you build your red blocks out of if you don't have redstone? Here we go. Well, we could get into a cave eventually, I suppose. This cobalt pick's so fast. It's a real upgrade over what I had before, which was, I don't know. I started with a wood tinker's one. last week, so I guess I made quite a bit of progress. I think I streamed. I'm about six hours into this, so I guess I'm a little behind as far as resource extraction is concerned. But I got a nice little base going, so I guess that's nice. I mean, I'm not living in a cobblestone box. I'm living in a cobblestone box next to a granite tower, so that's real progress in the sense of, like, you know, not living in a hovel. And it's always nice not to live in a hovel, I guess. I live in a hovel in real life. It's just a wooden shack out in the country, and I've lived here my whole life. I was born in this wooden shack. My sister, mother, father gave birth to me, self-fertilized, and I ended up being, you know, relatively normal, as you can see. I mean, you can't tell, but I actually have three arms, but the third arm doesn't really do much. It's just kind of hangs there. I can't show you it now because it's against the terms of service to show your third arm on Twitch. You shouldn't even talk about it. You'll probably get banned. Probably get banned. Then what will I do? What will I do then? So yeah, my sister, mother, father gave birth to me in this one-room shack, and up until recently we didn't have electricity, but I was able to harness an extension cord to a lobster, which I put like right next to a bucket of water, and then I put it on a treadmill. So it's always trying to get in the bucket of water, and it walks the treadmill, and that puts power into the battery backup system that I made. The batteries are made mostly of logs. I guess there's probably some other stuff in there because you probably can't just make batteries full of 5 logs. But batteries just made of logs. Logs and the aborted fetuses of other of my inbred siblings. I say inbred, but that's not really fair because it's asexual reproduction, not inbreeding. So yeah, anyways, you know, there's those aborted fetuses are a vital component in the battery backup system, which is charged by lobster power, lobster treadmill power, and which the lobster, of course, is baited by its desire and lust to return to the sea. So there's a salty bucket of water. It's actually, you know, table salt, but lobsters aren't very smart, so they don't really have very big brains. So it doesn't know that it's not really seawater. It can like smell the salt, and so it knows, you know, what's up there. It knows that there's something it wants at the end of it. Yeah, so that's my living arrangements now. The shack is, you know, it's rustic, but there's running water because there's a leak in the roof, and water runs right through the roof because it rains a lot here in Tennessee. Yeah, my inventory is full of junk already. Woohoo! Let me throw some more garbage in there. No, I don't want this. I don't want it to stick to me. Oh, I accidentally clicked on the crafting recipe there. I don't want any of this. Ye old garbage dumpy. What else am I doing there? I guess all this is useful. I don't want that either. I guess that's all useful though. So what can I tell you? I never went to school because, you know, I mean, you can't really let people like me out of the house. It's always bad news. What the shit is that thing? Oh, it's a book. Okay, there was a flying book for some reason. I don't know why there was a flying book, but there was a flying book. It's probably like, there's probably some like lore or something about flying books. I should probably make it up. Many years ago in Minecraftia, there was a library in the sky. And it blew up. Creepers blew it up. Anyways, and you know, all the books just flew through the air. And every once in a while, one of the books comes down. I can't believe I'm out of inventory space already. I think I'm experiencing a tad bit of lag for some reason in my local host. Right. So, anyways, so many years ago, book library blew up. Creepers blew it up, of course, because that's what they do. And which isn't racist. That's just what creepers do. It's a matter of fact. It's not any sort of bias towards creepers or anything. And the books just kind of fly around, and every once in a while you run into one in a cave because they gain sentience during the explosion too. Because traumatic events promote self-awareness. It's a well-known fact. So a lot of people in real life don't really figure things out until something bad happens to them. And just like that, the books didn't really figure anything out until something bad happened to them either. And it just so happened that something bad was a creeper exploding, which also imbued them with the powers of flight. It's crazy, right? Nonetheless, that is what happened. It's weird finding these blocks of redstone, and I realize they're from these abyssal hives, right? Deep hive. I guess it's cool, you know. It's nice to find lots of redstone in one place and not have to dig up all the individual bits. It's still strange. And then now my inventory is inconveniently got a bunch of blocks of redstone in it. But hey, you know, we got redstone. I could speed this pick up for one. When I go back upstairs, I'll put a couple upgrades on it because it is ready for some. I just became adept, right? Which adds a couple upgrades or something, or an upgrade. But I don't think there's anything on it yet. So, and there should definitely be a diamond, and there should be an emerald, and then maybe some fortune. But I generally think speed's probably better than fortune. I guess. And you don't need to be super fast, I guess, but it's always nice not to have to wait for things. Oh shit! I actually don't know what that was. Maybe it was one of them lava monsters. It was. Okay. I don't know. The lava squid things are fucking scary. This game didn't need like lava squids. It didn't need it. There was like no lack of menacing, horrifying animal or creatures, mobs. Like the game didn't. There wasn't any. It wasn't bereft of dangerous enemies at all. It was it had plenty. I mean, creepers, skeletal warriors, skeletons, zombies, other zombies, dwarves. Oh, well, I got a stack of coal already. Let's see. Can I throw any of this? No, but I can eat these pork chops. Pork chops, good. Right, and I can do here, and I can block these up. All right, now give me back a spot, and let's see. Guess that's really sort of it right now. I do need to go up though, so let me do that. Let me go up a couple blocks. I get this. I want to get this mechanism over. Its name I always forget it. And so I'll get the coal because I got plenty of extra coal capacity, and I'm a big fan of coal. If you've ever seen a clip, then you'd know that I was a big fan of coal. I'm also a big fan of Kohl's, the store, which is the only store we have where I live in Tennessee, is a Kohl's. That's where we get our groceries. That's where we get our clothing. We even get our toilet paper at Kohl's. It's a Kohl's house brand toilet paper, of course. So it's not the greatest toilet paper in the world, but it's, you know, it's all right, and you know, it's made in a Chinese factory, like everything at Kohl's. By people who are paid slave wages, again, like everything at Kohl's. And you know, it's it's definitely worth wiping your butt with. You know, relatively. In fact, when you think about most of the products from Kohl's, it's actually a pretty good value because, I mean, when you think about it, asking something to be good enough to wipe your butt with is really not a very demanding task. I mean, as long as it doesn't, you know, like cause you to bleed or otherwise be extremely uncomfortable. You know, actually, now that I think about it, it's not very good at being toilet paper because I mean, there's basically not a single time I go to the bathroom that my butt doesn't end up bleeding. And, well, you know, it's not really great shopping at Kohl's, is it? But at Kohl is great, though. Did I mention I really like Kohl? It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I've done pretty good so far, but my inventory is packed full, and I don't really have a way of it doing anything except... oh god, I've made a huge mistake. Die down here. I'll never get there. I might not die though. Put a couple lines up. Well, please don't shoot me. No. All I wanted to do is dump this junk from my inventory. I didn't need to be or deserve to be treated like this. Alright, right, get rid of that. Enchanted book, Eternal Compass. What could that do? I mean, what would an Eternal Compass do? I genuinely I can't really conceive of what purpose that would serve. Can you not? Can you not? Thank you. What purpose would that serve? I guess I won't take those 5. I'd rather have the iron, you know, and the nickel, so I can make that nickel iron alloy. That's name is not important to me at all, and so it doesn't matter if I remember what it is. I guess I'm gonna go upstairs real quick, come right back down. I wave my magic wand and teleport back to the top. There's got to be a canon reason. You know, you can't just teleport somewhere. It's really immersion breaking. Boron. Oh, I apparently kept some andesite on me. I don't really need any andesite, I don't think. I do have a song about andesite that I might share with you later, but it just goes andesite, andesite, andesite. That's really it. It's not much of a song now that I think about it. So is there some of any sort of mat that I can conveniently... I got one wool, one leather, so I don't think so. You know, like a global traveler, right? Do I have any alumite? That's obsidian, iron, and aluminum, right? Do everything on obsidian. I have a single block of obsidian. I don't think that's enough. Alright, I guess I'll go back down to the bottom, get some more ores. Maybe get some more ores down there. Maybe do some mining while I'm at the mine. Get down to the bottom and mine. Look at these new headphones. I guess they're a little bit better than the earbuds I had. These are real cheap though, so I don't expect them to last very long. I also think the input cord's on the wrong side, because it's on the left channel. And that's weird, right? At least it seems unusual. I'm pretty sure it's weird. Though I'm not much of a connoisseur of headphones. I do know that people are crazy about audio quality, and audiophiles are really uncomfortable to be around, because they're always talking about like how good vinyl records are, or like how good a certain set of speakers are. But like vinyl records really kind of suck. unless you're gonna like really take really good care of a record player and really like clean your records. But who wants to do that, right? Who wants to clean stuff like that? And then of course, like if you're like buying what the shit was that? Was that from the Hive? Oh, it is. It must be. Yeah, so unless you're buying like lossless audio tracks from somewhere that I don't know about, certainly not getting them from Apple. Like there's like a finite level of detail you're actually being exposed to in the audio file. Which I don't mean audio files all expose themselves. That's not what I meant by that at all. I was not implying that audio files are pedophiles or that they're into exposing themselves or anything. I didn't mean to imply that whatsoever. Just that records are lame, old technology, and they were replaced by much better technology for a reason. They were first replaced by 8-tracks because 8-tracks are also way better than records. Not in audio reproductive quality, but in actual usability. And usability is king of everything. Usability is actually king of Great Britain. A lot of people think it's the Queen. It's actually usability. He's not from Windsor Mountbatten though. He's a Briton. He's a Briton too. Not actually an Anglo-Saxon or one of the other ones, whatever they are. I guess they're just Germans from Hesse, right? Anyways, he's not one of those. He's not one of those at all. Yeah. I got green ore. Oh. Green ore is supposedly real valuable. I don't really see color, which isn't to say I'm colorblind. It's just that I'm not really paying attention. But when you see something bright green show up, it's hard to miss it. Oh, that's nice. Lava squid. If I die here, I'm gonna be pretty fucking pissed. I threw down torches. Why are you there? How did you spawn in there, anyways? Son of a goddamn bitch. Welcome to JCPenney's. What just happened? What was that noise? Oh, I'm on fucking fire again. Gonna die. I don't like it. I get in this hole. Not a fan. Not a fan of being on fire in any way, shape, or form. And I think it's unfair that I was on fire. It's not okay. I mean, what right does that thing have to be to living in this lava? Just because you're here, I'm gonna pump this lava out, and I'm going to I don't know, turn this into a beach resort or something. I'll put some water down here instead. And then what will you be then, lava squid? You'll be a normal squid. And normal squids don't attack at all. They just kind of squeeze ink at things and complain about the lack of, a clear cultural trend in literature that would, improve people's lives or anything. I mean, do I really want this? Dilithium? Maybe I'll do one day. Or maybe I'll want to go to lithium, and you can't go to dilithium or lithium without dilithium. Everybody knows that. It's like a Visa, except it's more of a MasterCard or an American Express. They carry really high interest rates, but you're supposed to be paying them off in general all the time. You're not supposed to be holding a balance on them, like you do. Yeah, oh man. So I can't even get over there. I mean, what's up? You're really cramping my style. Oh, hi. What's up? Did I mention you were cramping my style? You know, speaking of styles, you can find the best styles at JCPenney and Kohl's. Kohl's has lots of stuff too. I live near a Kohl's in Tennessee, and it's pretty much the best store. It's pretty much the best store in America right now, right? Except for Canada Mart, which is what I like to call Walmart, because not a lot of people know this, but Walmart is actually owned only by Canadians at this point. They think that like the Waltons are from Arkansas and all that, but the Waltons are actually from Canada. It's true. They're not even Americans. I'm certain that's the case. Yeah, man. Yeah, I got 4 arrows, so I could kill maybe one of those lava squids. What? Oh wow, like this is like 4 uranium in a row. That's a lot, right? I feel like I'm being victimized by squids. And that's just not why I came down here. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I also don't want that. No, don't come back. No. This is the curse of being magnetic. Having a magnetic personality and being magenta. There's 3 of them in there. They like soak up lava too. They gotta. Okay, yeah, but I'm not magnetic for that fucking gold ore though, right? I'm only magnetic for annoying things like STDs and, you know, being attracted to people's sisters. Oh. So anyway, we're thinking about adding a room onto our shack here in Tennessee. Probably gonna build it out of milk crates, logs, milk jugs. That'll be the roof will be made of milk jug material, a really big. It turns out if you microwave milk jugs, you can just make it into an ultra strong, ultra efficient roofing material that kind of filters in a milky light. You know, it's really aesthetic. It's real good. So anyways, all you really need is to microwave like a pile of milk jugs. You just jam them in there until the microwave is as full as possible of milk jug plastic. So, you know, you want to keep, you know, all the milk jugs you can for a while before you do it, like several months worth of milk jugs, depending on how much milk you drink. I don't drink milk at all. I'm actually part rabbit, so I don't drink milk. A lot of people don't know that about rabbits, but rabbits are allergic to milk, and you shouldn't, you know, if you get a rabbit, don't just like put a saucer of milk down, because the rabbit will drink it and die. He'll just die. It's true. I don't know if you knew that, but it's true. Rabbits are allergic to milk, as are Muppets. You know, famously, Jim Henson is the father of all Muppet kind, and I don't mean that in like a metaphorical way. I mean that in a genuine, like, he actually fathered all the Muppets. Is that kobold? Is that a kobold? Well, hey, whoa. How about a nobold? No, it's a goblin. Well, that makes a little bit more sense, right? What is this? There's iron blocks at my feet. That's like a metaphor for real life. Just like iron ingots following me around, chained to my feet. Oh, it's real tough living in Tennessee. My neighbor is like, he looks like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Except without the working out part. So just picture Arnold Schwarzenegger, but really fat. And that's what my neighbor looks like. So like fat Arnold Schwarzenegger, basically. If that wasn't clear, thank you. And anyways, I went out yesterday from the shack and my neighbor was outside, and I waved at him, you know, because even though he's a weirdo, I mean, there's no reason not to be like, you know, neighborly, right? And I waved at him, and he turned around and he said, "Nice to see you," which of course is a Arnold Schwarzenegger line from one of the Batman movies. I believe it's from Batman Forever, which is the one with George Clooney. And anyways, I was like, oh, I was taken aback because, you know, it's not very often that people respond to you, you know, waving hello by quoting like the worst of the Batman films. Well, except for The Dark Knight, which was also a really bad movie. In fact, all those Nolan movies were real bad. So, you know, anyways, it's a terrible movie. You know, and I would think that if you walked up to Arnold Schwarzenegger, who seems like a reasonably okay person, personally, in real life, if you walked up to him and were like, "Nice to see you," he'd be like, "Yeah, that's real fucking funny. Thanks for making fun of my accent. You know, I'm sorry that I was born in another country and I can speak more than one language. But anyways, go ahead and mock me for my skills, abilities, and general intelligence, you redneck." And that's what my neighbor said to me in so many words. And then he took out his freeze gun and did the dirty bit where he pointed it at me and he tried to freeze me. But, you know, freeze guns aren't really a thing in real life, so I didn't freeze at all. And he was very disappointed that I didn't freeze, which is understandable because, I mean, if you got like this whole like freezer guy thing going, I can't believe I threw my food in there. That's pretty dumb. Anyways, if you got this whole like I'm freezer guy, you know, thing working out, like if that's like your identity, you know, you probably are gonna be somewhat upset when you're probably gonna be somewhat upset when like you fail to freeze things, and so he was, of course, somewhat upset. Yeah, he was somewhat upset, but only somewhat, because you know, even though he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger without the working out, he has a lot wrapped up in, you know, being Mr. Freeze. He's a lot more wrapped up in being Mr. Freeze than he does in, say, being from Tennessee. You know, I mean, because that's not really part of his identity. It's just not really there. He's got a much more narrow sense of self, and he doesn't really identify as anything other than Mr. Freeze from the Batman film, the really bad one. I don't remember what it's called. Batman Forever, maybe. I don't remember. Chris O'Donnell is in it too, and I don't, you know, to talk about dating myself. I don't like him. I don't care how charitable he is with those refugees. I just don't like him. I mean, after that whole bird abuse thing that he was accused of, I just can't see past it. Maybe that means, you know, I'm not a good person. Maybe. I don't really know. You know, I don't really know. But anyway, so my neighbor said, "Nice to see you." And I just kind of waved back because, "Hey, what's up, Arnold?" And he was like, "It's nice to see you. I mean, I said ice, but I just kind of forgot the end. You ever do that where you just kind of drop one letter?" I was like, "Yeah, I do. I do that all the time. It's actually very understandable now that you put it that way. That you didn't actually make the mistake of." Oh, I don't have any more cobalt. I better go to the Nether, I guess. That you didn't actually make the mistake of, or you didn't actually say "ice to see you," because that would be a really silly thing to say to someone. Because you'd have to be depending on them to remember that one Batman film, the really bad one with Chris O'Donnell in it. I can't remember what it is, but anyways, you'd have to like think that that was like, you know, intellectual currency, and that's an unreasonable expectation, right? Why would people even remember that? I mean, it's not a good film. You know, Chris O'Donnell's in it, and after that whole thing with the birds, I mean, who's ever gonna, you know, like keep that movie in their collection? Maybe Batman. People who are like really big Batman fans, maybe. But you know, only terrible people are Batman film fans in the first place, because like Batman is like a terrible, terrible fucking character, and if you like him, you should feel bad. Anyways, I better go to the Nether now, I guess, because I don't see any more cobalt, and I'm pretty sure you can only get cobalt in the Nether. My Nether portal's right here. Let me dial this up here. Cobalt, or yeah, there we go. Cobalt ore. It's only in the Nether. It's at 64 or 7, so 64. So we'll go to the Nether. Where are we at? We're at Y99 in this weird biome. Oh yeah, we're up in the air too. Fuck. I seem to recall that like it used to be like conventional wisdom in Minecraft that you wanted to build your Nether portal high up in the air for some reason, but I don't remember why. Why that was conventional wisdom. Like why that was like a positive thing. There's some sort of glitched block in there. So can I go around it? Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what that is. I had that same thing in my shack in Tennessee, where there was like a glitch block in the middle of the room, or I thought it was a glitch box, but it was actually just a pile of aborted fetuses that were my kind of sibling uncles. You know, for lack of a better, more nuanced term to describe the relationship between different asexually budded creatures. Like I don't really think that sibling relationships are a particularly appropriate metaphor, but you know, considering that there really isn't any sort of defined terminology for relatives that are asexually created, I guess clones, cousins, all that seems wrong. I mean, almost as wrong as the concept itself of like asexual reproduction of human beings and other advanced organisms. So I'm at a pretty good. Oh, there's a. Was that a blaze? Or is it a super blaze or something? I think it's like a super blaze. I mean, I pressed R, which is some game's version of like don't shoot. I don't know what game, and it didn't work. Another specific music here. Like some like hot iguanas down there, and I don't mean like sexually attractive iguanas, because I'm not sexually attracted to iguanas. I don't know why anyone would suggest that. So that's a really weird thing to suggest. Oh, there's a lot of these things though, and I don't like them, and so I'm gonna run away from them. So anyways, there's hot iguanas everywhere. And what actually are they? Salamanders. They're not hot iguanas. So just pretend I didn't say the iguanas are hot, because even though I think the iguanas are probably, this fiery netherrack doesn't actually have ore in it though, does it? So even though I said the iguanas are hot, I didn't mean like hot in the sense of like attractive, because that would be weird. Who would actually think that an iguana would be, sexually attractive? I mean, even people who are like furries aren't really into iguanas, right? Hi-fi. Huh. That kind of brings me back to the top of our headphones. Yes, I got these new Lively rack. I don't know what that is either. it kind of brings me back to the topic of headphones though, because I got these new headphones. I don't know, they're slightly more comfortable than the earbuds I have. I feel like having things on your head, period, kind of sucks. But I don't. Oh my god! See, I thought that was like boss music and like a boss, but that was just an ordinary Blaze guy, whatever the Mega Blaze, because Blazes weren't enough. So yeah. Anyways, there's no Cobalt in. What is it? What are you? You're a Blaze Juggernaut. I don't know what makes you so special, except that there's a ridiculous number of you, and there's no Cobalt here at all. I haven't found any Cobalt at all. I'm just gonna. Oh, I got a glitch block. Oh, I'm in trouble now. I'm glitched into a block. What? Oh, there's another one. Shit. I better home if I can. I'm stuck in some sort of block here. I don't know why. It's the fiery netherrack is glitchy. I did survive. However, I completely failed in my mission to get anything even remotely useful. You don't go there. Well, actually, I think you do go there, but you don't go there. So I didn't get anything useful at all. I got some lighty stone and some netherrack bits. But what I really need is a cobalt, and I didn't get any cobalt, and I used all my food too. So that was not great. Let me grab this steak, and let me try grabbing my my hang glider and going right back again. So what was I talking about? Oh, living in Tennessee next to my crazy neighbor. Oh no, yeah, I mean, I was talking about that, but I was also talking about asexual reproduction and what's the correct terminology to refer to relatives of yours that are asexually reproduced. And I don't actually think there's an answer to that, you know, like grammatically or anything. I'm not going down there. I guess I'll go this way. I don't like hitting my head every time, but I don't really need any more fiery netherrack in my life at all. So, and also, since I have no cobalt and I can't fix this pick, it's probably best that I preserve the remaining pickiness of the pick. So that guy just like teleported over here, and that's fucking bullshit. I'm looking for real netherrack. Maybe I can get to that island. I'm not sure I'll get there. I'm gonna try. I could show you the world. I don't know that I should have done that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have. I don't actually like the nether. Do people like the nether? I mean, I know there's like a number of people who moved to the nether because they thought it was a good idea, but you know, that's just gentrification, and it's not really appropriate for people to gentrify the nether. What is this? Is this frostburn ice? That doesn't sound good. I wonder if I'm going to get hurt by it. No, it looks like I'm alright. Anyways, I think there's finally that's some sort of horrifying spider creature. So I guess I'll go closer to the juggernauts, because, you know, I mean, if the alternative is horrifying, finally, some fucking cobalt, horrifying spider creature, or juggernaut, I think I'm going to go with the juggernauts, as they're a known quantity, and horrifying spider creatures are the stuff of nightmare. You know, you can, I finally got 2 cobalt, though, that's 4 cobalt, so you got a little bit in the pink. Oh, there's another. It's like it. Shit. Hi. It's like somebody's really poorly made snare sound. It's like somebody just learning to beatbox or something, which isn't saying that I can beatbox better or anything, but oh, okay, yeah. This hole is not really big enough for the both of us. Fuck. right, as I was saying, it's not like I can beatbox any better or anything. But when I was a kid, I did have beatbox syndrome, where like you can only beatbox and make like kind of like monotone robotic voices, and it's really weird. Nobody believes that's real, but that's a real disease, beatbox syndrome. And you probably shouldn't make fun of people for having it, because it's like as real as like any disease, like autism. Autism's real, and so is beatboxing. Um, beatbox syndrome, rather. I've also had potato technology syndrome and beat technology syndrome. I guess I was really subject to diseases of the speech organs. Hell, Barkwood. I guess I was really subject to speech organ related diseases as a child. It's probably because I was born with my own foot in my mouth, which is a horrid deformity. And sometimes I wake up with my foot in my mouth today. Like just the other day, I was talking to my neighbor. He walked out of the trailer he lives in, and I saw him in the front yard, and I waved at him, and he said, "Nice to see you." And I proceeded to explain to him how much I disliked that Batman movie, which is the one I thought he was like making a reference to it, but turns out he wasn't making a reference to it. He's just forgot the first letter. You know, like sometimes you have like an error in your speech and you just forget the first letter. And that's what happened. He forgot the first letter, and it was really embarrassing for me because it turned out that actually he's related to Jerry Bruckheimer, who I'm pretty sure directed that movie. But I'm not actually certain and that might not be his name, because I don't know if I mentioned this. I was actually born with my foot in my mouth, like wedged right in my fucking gaping mouth. Was my foot. And it was sideways, of course, because I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's just your toes. I mean, babies are really flexible. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but you could just like pick a baby up and roll them into a ball, and not really much happens. Like, I mean, the mom might get a little pissed. Oh god, I'm dead. Oh, I died. Well, that's the first death today, which is something, right? It's not like I died on purpose there or anything. The music was getting really fucking loud for some reason. So maybe I can head that frustration off somehow by maybe clicking this, maybe dropping this down to there. And then let's see. Let's use the back command and shift, and maybe I won't immediately teleport into the nether and start on fire, or maybe I will, because it's actually quite. I heard a baby. I heard a flying baby. Speaking of babies, right? So as I was explaining, you could pretty much roll a baby up into a ball, and the baby won't get like hurt or anything. And I'm not suggesting that you do that to like strange babies, but that's to illustrate the point that like being born with your foot in your mouth is not a particularly debilitating condition, unless your foot is sideways in your mouth, like widewise, not like widewise, but widewise. And if you are born with your foot in your mouth sideways, it leads to like a number of like common errors in speech, and common kind of like it's not debilitating or anything, but like you will regularly make an ass of yourself. So anyways, my neighbor who was out by the trailer that day, when I had just come out of the shack and I was saying hi to him. I was actually, for what it's worth, I was actually headed to the outhouse. Because we don't have running water. I mean, we do have running water, but as I mentioned before, it's actually a leak through the ceiling. So there's literally just like water running out of the floor. Right now, my feet are about 3 inches of water, which is probably not great for like overall health and safety. But you know, I don't mind. So anyways, I was headed to the outhouse. I don't know what he was doing, and we haven't spoken since because he was deeply offended that I made fun of his error in speech. But I mean, I understand because, like as I mentioned, I was born with my foot in my mouth, and it was sideways. What's up, Snorty? What? What? Okay, beatbox syndrome, man. God, is there anything worse than amateur beatboxers that you can hear in real life? And the answer to that is probably yeah. Something's attacking me. Oh, man. The fucking MIDI pack that they get that sound effect from. I want to know so I can use it to make awesome intro music. I could use that sound too. I get 21 cobalt, which is pretty good. This mission has definitely been more successful than the last mission where I was not very successful. Let me go ahead and get this. You know, just see. Oh my god. Oh my god, you fucking son of a goddamn fucking bitch. Oh my god. I got too greedy, man. I think that creeper just creeped himself, which is really interesting. I creeped myself once. Like, I ended up calling the cops because I thought that someone was creeping on me, like through one of the shack windows. But it was actually my own reflection in a shattered piece of glass. There's an H.P. Lovecraft story about that. I can't remember what it is. The horrible face I saw was my own, basically. That's the moral of the story. And sometimes I feel like that. When I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror and the horrible face I see is my own. It's true. I mean, it's kind of dark, but there's a hellbird there. You know, I don't actually have to be here anymore. There's just something about it. Maybe I should relocate to the Nether. No, I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna head back. So I got enough cobalt to upgrade my pickaxe, so that's positive, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me put those in there. So now I'll be able to fix it when it comes down to it. And now I can try to make a little bit more sense of my inventory here too. I got my own head, which I can't say I'm a huge fan of getting your own head. You probably shouldn't do that either. It doesn't sound sanitary. I can get this steak as well. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do anything that to yourself that involves you know, your own body. That's really weird. Okay, I'll get rid of that. So overall, how have I done mining? I still don't really have enough iron. So what else? I don't have any copper to speak of. So let's focus on copper here. And no, not like that. Let's go ahead and dial up the copper height. And no. Maybe this? No. This? No. No, this one. No. This one. No, I guess it's not that one either. Is it this one? 4 straight? No. 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 What? It's this one here. It's copper ore, thermal foundation copper ore. Yeah. So we're looking for overworld. I don't want to be in the wrong place looking for that, right? Overworld. Asgard. Luna, Mars, Mining World, 40. Saturn, Uranus, Alderaan, Krypton, 42. Deep Dark, Overworld. For Y46. Let's go ahead and go down to Y46 and see if we find any copper down here. We're still pretty high up. We'll get there eventually, though, I'm sure. This is Y40. It's Y40, so we'll just kind of go 41, 42, 43, 44. Well, okay, I guess that kind of makes me an idiot. 40, 40, 45, 46. No, I'll over here. Go dig like this. Oh, hey, look, 1 copper. 2 coppers, 3 coppers, 4 coppers, 5 coppers. Hey, it's a policeman's ball. What do I know about copper? Copper is an element. It's plentiful at Y46. It's used for electrical things and other things. And the reason I'm getting it is because I think I need a couple stacks of it, just because it sounds like it's probably a pretty useful thing to have. And I like to have a good supply of various ores before I engage in various ore-related activities. And, you know, because it's nice to have a stockpile of ores before you do stuff. Like, I probably need like way more iron ore. I really only have like a stack and a half of it, and that's not much at all, is it? So I was hoping maybe I'll get it like a stack of iron ore or copper ore, and then maybe move on to iron ore as a goal. And meanwhile, I'll collect, you know, like green ore too, because green ore is super important. Because if you want to make blue or yellow, you know, you need green ore to like subtract from. Right, so moving right along. There's quartz there. I got some quartz. Quartz is not super useful unless you're gonna make a computer, or maybe you're gonna, you know, use quartz to cut yourself at night. You shouldn't do that though. You shouldn't self-harm with quartz, or with anything else for that matter, because I mean, there's enough adversity in the world, and the last thing you need to do is be your own adversity. Because, you know, there's already really more than enough bad things, or things you have to fight against anyways, right? Like, so least of you what you need is yourself to be your own enemy. I think that's actually a George W. Bush quote. I find him very inspirational. I mean, it's kind of like Kevin Costner, right? Like, Kevin Costner and George W. Bush both overcome amazing adversity to be where they are today. I mean, Kevin Costner, of course, is like, you know, pretty much the greatest actor of our time, except for that one guy who played Batman in the Jerry Bruckheimer version of Batman. He was pretty cool too, right? He obviously had to put up with a lot as well, because I don't know if you've seen that movie, but like, his costume was so tight, it probably seriously permanently affected him the rest of his life. He was almost certainly not normal ever again after being dressed like that for that long. And it probably took a long time to make that movie too, right? Because it's like, I feel like it's one of the great performances of all time, the Jerry Bruckheimer version of Batman, which I believe is called Batman Forever, but I can't remember because I blocked out most of my memories of Chris O'Donnell after that whole Chris O'Donnell bird incident. It's understandable. I'm sure you can understand why someone would do that. You know, Chris Brown, Chris O'Donnell, pretty much the same guy, right? They look a lot alike. I don't know if you've noticed. How much copper have I gotten so far? 11 copper. That's not much copper. I'd like to get into a cave at this height because I feel like I could find a lot more copper at this height if I was in a cave at this height. As opposed to if I was just like wasting my pickaxe digging through normal rock. Not like the Rock, because Mr. Johnson, because he's a person and you shouldn't dig through him with a pick at all. He's not that kind of, I mean, you probably wouldn't get very far, first of all, because he's like massive, and like, I'm not sure a pick would even really actually have any real negative effect on him as a person. Because I feel like he's probably basically invulnerable. I mean, because if you ever seen The Rundown, which is like one of the greatest action movies of all time, which is, you know, I don't want to take anything away from Jerry Bruckheimer's Batman Forever, but The Rundown with Sean William Scott and The Rock, Mr. Johnson, and Rosario Dawson is in it too, which actually reminds me of something. Rosario Dawson, right, is actually my neighbor here in Tennessee. And the other day, she came out of a trailer. She lives next door in a trailer, which is actually pretty nice for around here because I live in a shack, a 2-room shack with my sister, mother, father, who's really none of those things because I was actually produced asexually. So, and I just don't know the correct nomenclature. I don't think there actually is any established nomenclature for relatives of yours that are asexually budded. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody who's more expertise in biology, or abiology, as it were, since I'm pretty sure I'm not really alive anymore. Right. So Rosario Dawson came out of the trailer, and I was actually headed back from the outhouse. This is shortly after the "Eyes to See You" incident that I described earlier on in the stream, where my neighbor mispronounced the word "nice to see you" because he was not actually Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze in that Jerry Bruckheimer movie. He just did that thing where you misspeak, like you drop a letter or two from the beginning or the back of a word, and he had done that, and he was deeply upset. And then anyway, so we moved on, and I went to use the outhouse because we don't have any indoor plumbing. But I mean, we have running water, but we don't have indoor plumbing. And Rosario Dawson was, I don't know where she was actually going, but she had walked out of her trailer. She lives in a different trailer. This is on the other side of me. She lives in a different trailer, and Rosario Dawson was walking somewhere, I don't know where. And I just used that Kohl's toilet paper, right, too. I think I mentioned that before, that Kohl's is the only store by me, so that's where we get everything, including toilet paper. But which is generally okay because toilet paper doesn't like require a particularly robust manufacturing process or like any, it doesn't really suffer from being low quality despite what some people insist. And but it's not actually true. That's not actually true because it's actually very, very annoying to clean yourself up with low end toilet paper because especially if it's from Kohl's, because all the ink from the toilet paper gets all over you. And I know you're probably wondering about the ink, but all I can tell you is that when you buy toilet paper from Kohl's, it's almost certainly produced in that one Chinese factory with basically like only slave labor. And so the people who produced it have written all over the toilet paper messages like, please, please help me, which is not funny at all, but does illustrate the point that Kohl's doesn't actually make very good toilet paper. So anyways, I saw Rosario Dawson, and I waved to her, and she didn't acknowledge me. It's like I wasn't even there. I really think that's kind of inappropriate. A magic wand. I don't know what that's for, but that's cool, right? Let me put a dot here, actually. Yeah. So as you know, obvious, my favorite Rosario Dawson film is actually Clerks 2, which I mean, I think that's probably everybody's favorite Rosario Dawson film because I mean, has she really been in that many movies? Probably not that many, but a few. But none of them really quite on the level of Clerks 2. I think we can all agree about that. Kevin Costner, of course, who wrote and directed Clerks 2. Really, I mean, really a brilliant filmmaker. Everybody knows that, right? I gotta stop picking up cobblestone. It's just not worthwhile. So I saw her and I waved at her and she didn't say anything, and I said something like, "Try not to suck any dicks to the park on the way to the parking lot," which of course is a line from the first Clerks movie, which is not the one she was in. And so I don't think she really got the reference that I was just like trying to be like, hey, I'm a bit of a fan, you know. So I think she was probably offended, which is why later when the police arrived, I tried to explain to him about Clerks, the first Clerks movie, and like the whole joke about like kind of like his girlfriend being, you know, let's just say liberal with her favors. Yeah, I mean, because we don't need to say horrible things about people. I mean, that's in the movie anyways. So like you can figure it out for yourself what that actually means. And I think Rosario Dawson thought I was harassing her, which is understandable because I mean, I was born with my foot in my mouth, and I don't mean actually like in my mouth. I mean literally in my mouth. I mean literally in my mouth sideways, which is a lot different than not sideways. If you didn't know that, there's a well-established history of people putting their foot in their mouth front ways, which, you know, as an adult, not super easy to do, but you know, it gets done. I mean, because it does happen, but sideways, like long ways. And anyways, yeah, that happened to me, and Rosario Dawson was real upset, and then the police came over, and to my shack in Tennessee, my one-room shack in Tennessee, where I live and I stream from. I only recently got electricity and internet here. I explained the electricity system before. I have a lobster on a treadmill, and I put a saltwater bucket at the end of the treadmill, and the longing generated in the lobster for the sea, which is, I mean, all lobsters long for the sea. That's a pretty well established fact. Kind of drives the lobster forward and like gives him the motivation to look, you know, try to get to the bucket, and then that gives the power, right? That charges batteries that are connected to the treadmill. It's one of those like walking treadmills that, you know, gets power from walking. Like it's connected by batteries, and you know, lobster power isn't super effective, but if I let him go all week, I can play Minecraft on Monday, which is why I was really excited to start playing Minecraft today, because I've been waiting all week for that lobster to work hard enough that it charged enough batteries to give me a few continuous hours of Minecraft, because otherwise he doesn't otherwise I don't have enough power, because we don't really have electricity here in Tennessee, in this part of Tennessee, which is the southwestern corner of Tennessee, where I live by myself with in a two-room shack. There's a golden hoe there. Just kind of floating there. It looks like some sort of animated ghost hoe. That's weird. It does not seem hostile, so I guess I'll just leave it alone. I'm pretty sure I've attacked those before, and they're not really worth it. I mean, I don't want to pick up a golden hoe, right, while I'm mining. A golden hoe is probably like the last thing I want to pick up. What? You what, mate? Whoa. You see who's like doing this over and over? Where did that come from? I don't know why. I mean, I guess skeletal warriors are a little bit better than normal skeletons, because normal skeletons are really annoying. What with their tremendous knockback and their inerring accuracy. And at least these like will switch to like melee when they're in melee range and stuff. I guess it's kind of better if you can trick them. I mean, if you saw that one, he was just kind of like switching back and forth between his two weapons. He was like doing this. That made him ineffective in combat. So I guess that's sort of a plus. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what you look at Minecraft for. I personally like Minecraft mainly for the realism, like having lived in a cave for an extended period of time. I can tell you that Minecraft mining is extremely realistic and very much accurately represents the experience of living in a cave. Or at least the experience I had while living in a cave. I don't want, you know, it probably wouldn't be fair for me to suggest that everybody's cave living experience was the same, right? That would probably be unfair to suggest that. It is really interesting living next to Arnold Schwarzenegger without working out, and Rosario Dawson. They are very interesting people to live next to. It's a good point. I don't really know anyone who lives in a similar situation, but I guess you know, most people. Where did that leather come from? Where did that come from? There's leather there, and I don't understand how it got there. I suppose it doesn't really matter, but it is interesting that it's there, right? Like, did a cow fall down from way up high? Because I mean, this is the bottom of a ravine, right? So that looks like it's 40 or so blocks up, maybe 20. So that's all, and that's a fair amount of blocks. So I'm pretty sure a cow would die if he fell from that height, IRL. And in game, I actually don't. Now that I think about it, IRL, I'm not sure a 20-meter fall would kill a cow, and it would be really, really horrible too, because the cow wouldn't be dead, but it would be catastrophically injured. And cows, boy, they don't really have a high pain threshold, so. In my personal experience with cows, like the slightest bit of irritation and they're just mooing their heads off without like really any sort of like, you know, personal will or you know, pain threshold. They just moo and moo and moo. So I think if a cow fell 60 feet or 20 meters, that it would be making a lot of noise, and as such, that would be extremely annoying, because they're pretty loud, cows. Like they're not like real loud, but they're pretty loud. Stone. No, it's andesite. Okay. Oh. This is an interesting mine shaft. I did not end up going back to the Skelly dungeon, which I probably should have done. Actually, running low on torches here, so maybe on the next trip around I'll do that. I'll go to the Skelly dungeon and Skelly dungeon, and I'll get some of that stuff that was in there, or all of it maybe, and then go back again or something like that. Hey, this hole is not big enough for the both of us. That's what she said. It really is. it's crazy that she said that because it's really inappropriate. But she said that anyways, and we just have to really accept the consequences. I mean, I guess everyone has the right to crack a joke now and then, even if that joke is pretty insensitive, like that one was, because that joke was extremely immature and insensitive. All right, let's go back upstairs. I put on my robe and wizard hat. I mean, we're trying to stick to this mining expedition thing, and it's going all right. We got a fair amount of mine materials, so that's something, right? Dump those drops. So keep that. Didn't really need to bring any of this andesite back though. I think this is like really valuable, so I'm gonna bring that with me. Put that there. Venom one. There was just a movie about Venom, wasn't there? I didn't see that movie. I'm actually allergic to Tom Hardy. Because I'm allergic to a lot of people, but Tom Hardy is one of them. Due to an incident when I was a child, where I ran into Tom Hardy and almost died. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be vaccinated against Tom Hardy because I wasn't the right age when they introduced the Tom Hardy vaccine. They had introduced the Tom Hardy vaccine like well after I was born. So, and you need to be vaccinated for Tom Hardy before before the age of like 8 or something like that. I can't remember the exact age that you need to be vaccinated against Tom Hardy, but it's something. And anyway, so Tom Hardy, I wasn't vaccinated against Tom Hardy. I ran into Tom Hardy, and I got Tom Hardy syndrome, which is kind of like beatbox syndrome, where you just make like really bad snare noises and like wicka 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 noises, which I think is supposed to be what a record sounds like when you scratch it. But I don't really know because I really haven't listened to a record in many years. And the one time I tried to scratch a record, I actually broke my sister's record player, and she was extremely upset with me for breaking it, which I guess it was probably appropriate. Though, as I mentioned, she's not really my sister because it's not the right terminology. There's probably some terminology that's appropriate in biology for asexually budded relatives. I guess relatives is the right word, but I don't know what that terminology is because I didn't finish any sort of school because here in Tennessee, in my one-room shack with a dirt floor, though we do have running water now, there really aren't any education requirements. You're not really compelled to educate yourself at all. So yeah, I ran into Tom Hardy. I got Tom Hardy syndrome, and it wasn't great. I had to sit through like every Tom Hardy movie and all the English television shows Tom Hardy was in before he became a Hollywood actor, like when he was just like a B or C level BBC actor. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of those, but it's really just like Tom Hardy does an accent he's not good at for like, a 6-episode series or something like that. So it's like, Cockney Tom Hardy and like, I don't really know, received pronunciation Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy does the same voice George Clooney did in that one Batman movie, the one directed by Jerry Bruckheimer. And there's a whole 6-episode BBC series where Tom Hardy does that kind of like Clooney kind of doing a version of Michael Keaton, kind of doing a version of Val Kilmer. which is an interesting choice, especially considering I think I got that order wrong. Uh, but it doesn't really work. But you could say that for a lot of things that Tom Hardy is in, it doesn't really work. Excuse me, because he's really not much of an actor, and you can be sure of that if you actually if you actually watch any of those BBC series where Tom Hardy just does an accent for 6 episodes that he's not very good at. It, what is this? Is that going to give me a status effect? Yes. Apparently creepers spread poison now, which is interesting, as if creepers needed to be more dangerous or more damaging. That's a great add-on to the mod pack. I don't know how to reward the person who thought of that add-on, but I really should. He or she or they, depending on whether they were asexually budded or not, really deserves a lot of credit for adding poison to creeper effects, because creepers blowing up wasn't really enough. And you know, I mean, I think we've all thought that. We've all had a creeper blow up in our face and destroy something we've worked on for many hours, and we've thought, boy, wouldn't it be great if the creeper also had some sort of status effect as well, and like not only did it blow up, but it also poisoned you. So maybe after you like narrowly avoided death from the creeper, you could suffer poison. Where are you going? Hello. Okay. Well, I guess he wasn't interested in me very much. That yellow creeper. I don't know exactly why, but he might have been a support creeper, and I don't know what the deal with them is. Like, you have to like bait them in somewhere, I think, but I've never actually had one. Also, why would you want a creeper to support you? Like, I suppose if like you're like it's alimony and the creeper is your ex-wife or your ex-husband or something, then you might want them to support you because like you had like grown comfortable with, you know, with the type of life the creeper was giving you before you got divorced. And so your lawyer maybe had go so your lawyer maybe had like the creeper like got the judge to make a judgment against the creeper that the creeper had to pay creeper support, or alimony rather. I guess maybe then you'd want the creeper to support you, but other than that, I don't think you'd really want the creeper to support you, because I mean, I kind of like I think most people don't really like creepers, and I suppose that's not really fair of me to think that about creepers or people, I suppose, either. But I'm pretty sure it's true. You know, I don't think I'm really going on a limb there. Hey, there's Project Red Marble here. Oh, there's a goblin. Is there a way to make friends with goblins? Like if, I mean, I already killed that one, but if I had given the goblin a steak or something, because if I were a goblin and I lived in a cave, and some dude showed up and he was just minding his own business, you know, doing some mining, and it's not like I own all the ores in the cave, right? Anyways, if he was doing minding his own business, and he offered me a steak, I think like a real relationship might develop. Like, I mean, I'm not saying IRL, I'm saying in game, because like IRL, of course, I wouldn't actually have a relationship with a goblin. That's just weird. Like, and it's probably illegal too, even here in Tennessee. And in Tennessee, like you can pretty much bang anything in Tennessee, and you don't get in trouble for it. Like, like if a cow fell like 20 meters, which is like 60 feet or so, and broke all 4 of its legs and was just kind of like moaning on the ground, and you were into that, and the cow, of course, was consenting, then you can bang it, because there's no rules against that in Tennessee. Like, I mean, what's up with my armor flashing there? Is it because my pants are almost broken? Oh, it's because my osmium boots are broken. Alright, well, That's interesting. I don't. It's strange that they're like kind of disco-y, but I guess it's a set bonus, right? So, where's that? Oh, the wire there. I haven't really done much mineshaft mining in my Minecraft life because it's one of those things I kind of like avoid going into mineshafts. I don't know why, but this has been actually a pretty productive exercise, which is saying a lot from me, I guess, because I don't really consider myself much of a productive person. Even with this weird third arm I have that doesn't really function very well as an arm, at least. I just, it's not super productive. Now this chest is full. There's a firebomb in there. That sounds interesting. Mixed metal ingots. Iron's nice. I like iron. Melon seeds. Okay. String. Oh, there's some rail. A scroll of magic missile. That doesn't sound like it's going to end poorly at all. Let me get that. Smoke bomb. Firebomb. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest chest or anything. I'm gonna go back upstairs and dump this stuff out. It's probably not a good idea for me to be carrying around a scroll of magic missile because I'm not a particularly responsible person, IRL or in game. So like, I feel like I'll probably use it by accident, and the end result won't be great. Like, it just won't be the best possible use. Oh, it looks like I have plenty of spell books already. What do I got? Novice, apprentice, novice. I hope that's not a spell I just said there. It kind of sounded like a spell, right? Like novice, apprentice, novice. I think that's from Harry Potter. I don't actually remember though, because I've seen Harry Potter, and I've actually seen Harry Potter a whole bunch of times. But I can't say I like really pay any attention to the Potter lore, because I'm watching Harry Potter for the same reason that everybody is watching Harry Potter, and that's because the guy who plays Ron Weasley is really attractive, right? So I don't think that people are really Harry Potter fans so much as they're Rupert Grint fans, right? That's been my experience with Harry Potter fans. I don't think there's really that many people who are really into Harry Potter or anything. They're just really into Rupert, which I guess is understandable when you think about it. I mean, he is basically the pinnacle of human beauty. Rupert Grint. Oh, let's get some osmium blocks here. And everything, and because I need to fix these, right? Eat this steak. Zero. No, there is not a bucket in there. There should probably be a bucket in there, but there's not, so. Okay, now it's pretty full. Can I put a bucket on the shelf? I don't think I can put a bucket on that shelf. No, I can't. We'll wait for that osmium. In the meantime, I'll dream of buckets. Bucket. Something bucket. Bucket. A whole new bucket. So, this is armor? Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow, this was really fucked up. So it's kind of a good thing they came to fix this, right? Is that all working now? Okay. Yeah, good. All right. So how are we doing with mining? We should probably take some more mining trips down, right? Yeah. I still think we need some more. Very few diamonds as well. So I kind of want to go back to that mine shaft because I felt it was really productive. And every time I go down to lava level, I end up getting shot by squid. But then again, I actually haven't been down in lava level directly. I was like kind of like off the corner of lava level. So let me go here. Yeah, right. So I guess I'm lucky. I immediately found some ores that I guess I left here earlier or at some other point when I was mining. Hey, I've just repaired my suit of armor by collecting ores. That's something, right? Yeah. And there's some lead over there, and lead's obviously super valuable IRL and in game, because lead is like really commonly used in various electronics and pipes and stuff like that. And in game, obviously, Minecraft being pretty much the most realistic game ever created. Like, I mean, just like the level of realism in Minecraft is obviously like very, very high. I don't. I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried like making ingots in your yard, but the process of making an ingot in Minecraft is just basically exactly like making an ingot in your yard. So it's. I mean, it doesn't really get more realistic than representing metalworking from your yard. Does it really? I mean, obviously it's not like industrial working where you need like a much bigger yard, but not like the size of Bruce Wayne's yard in that one Batman film that Jerry Bruckheimer directed or anything, but like just like a yard, like a normal ordinary yard, like a quarter or a half acre lot or something. Well mowed though, like not like really like crazy like with weeds or anything, and like you got to pick up the dog poop because you can't make good iron ingots if there's too much dog poop in the yard, because then the dog poop will contaminate the iron, and it just it's like a well established fact that iron that has impurities in it, like dog poop, just isn't as hard and strong as other types of iron or other types of impurities for that matter. I learned that from a textbook that my grandpappy, and I say grandpappy, but I mean the truth is that he wasn't really my grandfather because I was produced through asexual budding. But his relationship to me was not unlike that of a grandfather to a child that was produced as a result of sexual reproduction. So yeah, grandfatherly wisdom passed on to me through his textbook notes that he had written when he attended university. He's the only one in our family to ever really kind of leave the immediate area of the shack. And he did work at that university for many years as a janitor, of course, but he learned a lot there because I mean, just being at the university is a pretty good opportunity to learn. And civil service employees sometimes get discounts, and even after they fired him for not being a very good janitor, because I mean, coming from the shack like he didn't really understand the idea of indoor plumbing, because we don't have indoor plumbing. Again, we have routing water, but we don't have indoor plumbing. So the water just kind of comes down from the ceiling when it rains, and if you wait for it to rain, like you shit on your living room floor, and you wait for it to rain through the ceiling, there's gonna be like a ton of poop on your floor. Like it's just not really good. like it's not good at all. Like I feel like mining at diamond depth has been fairly fruitless because of the lack of diamonds being produced by that mining. Oh, let me throw away that and that and that and that and that and that, and then I'll keep digging, I guess. I think my best results were digging higher up, or at least digging in that mine shaft. Because like when I'm digging down here, first of all, I'm spending most of my time in the dark, which kind of is like bringing back bad memories from childhood when they made me stay in the other room of the shack, the one without a candle in it, and it just wasn't a great experience growing up in the candle room, or the non-candle room rather, because the candle room, that was where I was at, right? Like, I mean, who doesn't want to be in the light? And you can only really make so many candles from human earwax, no matter how big or how many family members you have. And I say family, but truth is that it's probably not accurate to represent the offspring of asexual budding with terms that are used for the result of sexual reproduction. So terms like family, for example, are not particularly accurate representations of the relations between various members. Still, colloquialisms are perfectly acceptable, I guess, for the purpose of understanding things. It's just that slang terms are inexact, and when you're trying, like most people on Twitch do, when you're trying to have really rigorous intellectual discussions, it's probably best if you stick to more exact vocabulary, because you don't want to confuse things on Twitch, because it's a very very well educated customer base, or rather a viewer base. There's lots of really smart people doing real smart things on Twitch, and they really spend a lot of time doing it as well. And, so Twitch people playing Minecraft, you basically have like you got enough brain power with, like, if you take all of Twitch's Minecrafters and you put them in a room, you probably have enough brain power to figure out what would be the correct terminology for the results of non-sexual or asexual reproduction. There's probably like an easily established you could have a conversation about what should be the right terminology, and you could probably get a really reasonable answer as well. Hajom, which is I think like South Slavic for home. Hajom. I'm making pretty good mining progress, right? I got a whole bunch of ores now. I haven't processed any of them in any way, shape, or form. But I certainly have more than I started with. Oh, yeah, okay. Man, I really should stop bringing back cobblestone. I really got more than enough of it. And how am I doing here now? I'm doing all right. I'm actually probably going to take a break for a few minutes and maybe get some fresh water from the leak in the ceiling, and then I'll come back, maybe play some more Minecraft. So here I'll put them. totally back. I brought some new water and some orange wine, and not wine made from oranges either. It's very orangey though. It's wine made from it's wine made from grapes probably. I think mostly wine is made from grapes. Yeah, but anyways, it's wine made from grapes, and then there's orange zest in it. And the guy said orange zest. Like, I bought it from the guy who made it, because Tennessee has a lot of wineries, and I live in Tennessee, so I bought it from the guy who made it. And there was like there's like a bunch of oranges around. He's like, try some orange wine, and I said like my wine made from oranges. He said, no, silly, that would be gross. And also, what do you think this is, prison? Because in prison, frequently in prison, they'll make wine from unconventional materials because they're just kind of fermented like behind the toilet seat type of thing. And I have fermented things behind the toilet seat, but kind of unintentionally. But I have definitely done it. I think a lot of people have. That's when I was single. Yeah, it's not great. I regret pouring it into a glass and consuming it. There was some green ore there. It just didn't really seem worth it. Did it like stopping for green ore? I didn't really need it either, so I think I still need more iron, because you need a lot of iron and you need a lot of osmium, a lot of redstone, and where's the skeleton? It's like right here. You need like a lot of redstone, and a lot of iron, and a lot of osmium. But you don't really need much of anything else, right? Yeah, it tastes like something that you would brew behind a toilet. And I don't mean that in like a positive way either. Like, I really mean that in a way that is as unpleasant as possible. Like really, really unpleasant. Go back upstairs and dump this junk, because I regret picking any of it up. I think I heard my dog barking, but it's okay, because Rosario Dawson will get to it. She's a very resourceful person, so she'll get out of the handcuffs, and she'll stop the dog from barking. Oh, there's a music disc in here, which is kind of funny, because that discussion about records I had with myself earlier, where I talked about how records are awful, and how people who like records are being intentionally anachronistic, and not actually accurately representing like the worth of records as like a media form, because they're really bad records. Like, they're real bad, and everybody actually knows this, and not everybody wants to tell the same lie to themselves about it, but I refuse to tell the lie about it, because they're scratchy, they get really dirty, even in the sleeve, and like record players like are really low fidelity. Even like the highest fidelity record player is actually quite low fidelity, even though people like claim otherwise. like they talk about how like the warm the sound is and stuff, but sound doesn't actually have a temperature. Everybody knows that sound doesn't actually have a temperature. That's a gibberish thing to suggest, right? Like it's like crazy. And if my pappy's knowledge book is as good as it sounds, nothing, nothing, nothing has a temperature quite like ice. I mean, and Pappy was the only person to leave the immediate area of the shack in my family. So I mean, that's saying a lot, right? I mean, Pappy was no joke. He was a brilliant man. And when they arrested him, uh, yeah, when they arrested him and put him away for the rest of his life after the incident. Oh, because I picked up a lot of useful stuff there. Oh, that was funny. Lol. Come here. Come here, you punk ass bitch. Is there anything quite as amusing as killing? Oh. Killing a goblin when he's hanging by his head. Stupid fucking bats. Oh wait, bats drop full leather? Wow, I mean that's a pretty good deal, right? Oh hey, could you not? Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate you not. I think there might be a spider dungeon around here, which reminds me a lot of the shack, and that's why I'm running away, because the shack is not a pleasant place to live. So, I mean, you can understand that I wouldn't want to necessarily reproduce the conditions of my actual own life in a shack. That I mean that probably makes sense to people. I don't really need to explain what it's like living in a 2-room shack with no indoor plumbing. Or as an achievement. Lots of ore. That was an enjoyable noise. It's very satisfying to hear that noise. On the other hand, that spider noise, not particularly satisfying noise to hear. Reminds me a lot of my real life. So, I mean, growing up as I did with spiders in my brain. Why is that here? So why is this here? It's real too. I thought it might be like a mimic or something, but no. So I picked up a spider egg, which I could probably do without. Might as well use this. It's just taking up inventory space. There's bread in there. That's super valuable. And some iron leggings and an iron helmet, which I'm pretty sure I can melt down. I picked up a magic wand. I didn't know that. Don't actually know how that works. Could probably figure it out. I got a bunch of spell books too, so maybe I should become a wizard, which will be quite like my real life though. I mean, So maybe I don't want to become a real wizard, because you know Minecraft wizardry is pretty realistic, and so like I'll have experienced pretty much all of that before. Bats being a source of leather is an interesting situation, because I feel like, you know, if you're not near cows, leather's actually kind of hard to get. I should probably not be digging anymore to speak of. I definitely don't want that or that. That's not too important to me either. Let's go back upstairs. Dump this stuff off. Made it. Now I'm pretty sure I can melt down this iron armor. Yeah, it looks like I can definitely do that. While I'm at it, why don't I just make that into iron as well? Put that in there, put that in there, that. That's a drop. That's a drop. I mean, my ears are getting hot. It's probably because I was born with several extra layers of insulation in my ear. Mainly because I was actually born in insulation, like household insulation. Like, you know how Jesus was put in a manger. I was put in a creche made of fiberglass insulation and sawhorses, and someone, of course, immediately tried to saw me in half, like as a joke. But it wasn't particularly funny or anything. So what right, you know, I mean, none of those did anything. I mean, I wasn't really, like, you know, robustly doing what I was doing, because I don't really know how it works or anything. But that didn't actually have any results, and I don't know if that's because I'm definitely doing it wrong, or if that's because I was doing it incorrectly. It's one of those, though. Let's see, how's it going out here? This is I would probably make more cobblestone. What's the mission here? Make new armor. Okay, well, extensive spelunk. Arguably I did that. Farms. Okay, so I need to do some farms and mechanism tripling. The thing about farms is that you need dirt for farms, and not really much dirt around here. So I'm gonna go over to this part of the plateau and go ahead and dig up all this dirt, see how much there actually is here, and see how much I need. I'm gonna, you know, make a couple, maybe make like 4 farms, and 4 farms that are like 9 by 9 or so. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, no, maybe I will do that, because I want to get some power from windmills, because there's actually you know, I'm actually pretty high up in the air, and maybe windmills will make some power when you're up high in the air. I don't actually know if that's how it works in industrial in the mod, with the very realistic production of resources that you use a lot of hemp with, that I believe is in this mod pack, but I'm actually not sure now that I say it that it is in this mod pack, because I haven't really played Remix at all. I've only played the demix version, the non-mix version of this mod pack. All the mods, no mix, I believe is what it's called. I'm gonna go in here and go to sleep. So I I don't really attract any more monsters. Not really a monster person. Not really into monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't fix this though. I really should. Like I could upgrade it. The shovel. Do I have a shovel even? I don't. When this is a shovel head. So I got some aluminum brass here. Melt faster, you sons of bitches. Oh, I got an onion and some rice, some corn seeds. I was horribly surprised to find that this mod pack didn't have Pam's in it. Seems like such a stupid thing to do, and I realize, you know, they're probably like, oh well, Pam's is in everything, so maybe we should not have Pam's in it. You're fucking wrong. You should have Pam's in. The fact that you don't have Pam's in is a fucking shame. You should be fucking disgraced. We should probably get rid of you altogether. So I got some industrial hemp there. Okay, so that's, you know, something, right? I don't know why you wouldn't want Pam's. Like, maybe it wasn't like up to date for this version or something, but then you should just wait, because Pam's is like the best mod, the second best mod in Minecraft, right? The first best mod is Tinker's Construct, and the second best mod is Pam's Harvestcraft. Like, they're the most like thematically appropriate Minecrafty mods like in the game, like ever made. And they're a blessing, and anybody who doesn't like them can go fuck themselves. I know that's harsh. It's true though. It's definitely 100% accurate. Let me actually drop an iron in there as well, so I can not tool though. I want to make the binding out of iron. And do I have any titanium in here? No. I guess I'll wait for that. Till I need another handle, and then I'll melt some rutile down. So I want to get the immersive engineering hemp seeds in the ground, like pretty much as soon as I can. And I want to have this shovel though to do it with. A whole new shovel with brand new parts made of cobalt and iron, so it attracts the dirt directly to me in a magnetic fashion. Look at this cobalt shovel. It's like, it's super hot, right? Like, it's ecological too, so it should be self-repairing, but oh, it's so fast. Oh my god, it's so fast. It's so fast I might accidentally like dig out like a serious amount of dirt. Not too much dirt, but like a lot of dirt. I might do that. Like, if I'm not careful, I could dig too much dirt. But it looks like I'll be fine, because I'm in pretty good control. I think it might have momentum as well. Yeah, it has momentum, which means it like digs out blocks next to it and stuff, and that's pretty cool, right? I think that's pretty cool at least. So let's go back up here to the plateau, because I'm pretty sure we have enough now to build a couple little farm plots. So surface level on the plateau is going to be 127. So should I build like at 128? Because this will be grass. No, I'll just go 100, 127. Like there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're probably asking yourself, why would you count like all four sides of a square? And that, you know, that's just like an error correction behavior, right? It's like, you know, I do have disabilities. I was born with my foot in my mouth sideways, and so I'm not particularly like bright or anything. So it's I find it's like generally pretty useful for me to like self-correct. 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. See, I got that wrong. 1, 2, 3. I counted 4 times. I still fucked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is son of a goddamn bitch. I mean, I counted at 4 times and I managed to get it wrong. So that should teach everyone, including myself, all I need to know about myself. Like, I really don't need to know anything else other than, despite attempting to compensate for any sort of like errors I might have in advance, I still managed to really fuck something up. Oh, yeah, it's getting a lot warm in here. That my air just kicked on, which is pretty relieving, because I got air conditioning in the shack. It's in the lobster powered electricity system. I only run it while I play Minecraft, because otherwise I don't have enough power. But it's pretty important that I stay cool while listening to while playing Minecraft, because it's obviously dangerous to play Minecraft if you get too hot. Ever since the incident with Notch and the air conditioning thing, I have a debilitating illness where I get hotgry. Like, if I get too hot, I get like really unnaturally and inappropriately upset about like really small shit. It's not great, but it does happen. So in order to avoid getting hotgry, I like to run the air conditioning, quite a bit cooler than a normal reasonable person would. So I like to keep the shack right about 57 degrees. Any cooler than that, or any hotter than that rather, and I get like super hotgry. And it's potentially possible that I'll kill someone. And I don't live alone, obviously, in the shack, because when you reproduce through asexual budding, you tend to do so at a fairly high volume, and so I don't live alone here in the shack. In Tennessee, southwestern Tennessee, like southwest corner of Tennessee, like right where you're like, is that actually still part of Tennessee? And the answer is yes, it is part of Tennessee, and that's where I live, and with my asexually produced family. What something happened there to that bucket of water, and I don't actually know what it was. It just basically disappeared. I thought I clicked it into an empty space, but when I went to that block, it wasn't in that empty space. There was no water there. Okay, well, work this time, so water's not like broken all over the world or anything. It's probably just me. I probably just like clicked it wrong or something. I'm a bit slow, and that's because I wasn't produced through, you know, typical means. You know, I was asexually budded, and you know, if sexual selection isn't at work in your reproduction, your you know, your positive characteristics like like you know, the ability to count, not getting hotgri, so you know, aspects like that. I was really hoping that would make a dark steel hoe, and it would be like really good or something. But it did not make a dark steel hoe. So I guess I'll just make an iron hoe, which sounds alright. It also sounds maybe a little inappropriate, but I'm sure it's fine. It's probably not against the Twitch terms of service or anything. To have an iron hoe, that's probably fine. And the reason I wanted that iron hoe was actually so I could hoe this dirt and get this first farm ready to go, and plant some hemp there. Because there's really anything I've learned, it's that one of the first things you should do when you get somewhere is plant hemp. And I think the founding fathers would agree with me as well, because from what I understand, they were pretty big fans of hemp planting. And I'm gonna like tier this because that sounds like a good idea. I just kind of thought of it, and I'm gonna do it as well. Let's see, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, you know, it's a welcome relief that I'm no longer hotgri. Cause I was getting kind of you know, kind of upset. I get so hot. I just, you know, I don't react very well. It's not very flattering for the way I act when hot. Yeah, like I really am. Boy, you know, it's not great. Let's just say it's not great. I may have done a small amount of time in the county lockup as a result of getting hotgri in an inappropriate situation where I shouldn't have really gotten hotgri. I got real hotgri, and well, the long story short is that the judge said, you know, you're gonna do time, and I said, oh, how about I fucking do you? And he did not appreciate that, and he sentenced me to 30 days in the county jail and hotgri therapy. You know, I gotta tell you, hotgri therapy doesn't really work. If you're the type of person who gets hotgri, you know what I'm talking about. Am I right? I believe I'm correct. I don't really need to actually wait for any sort of response there. I'm pretty sure I know all about hotgri and the negative results that come with being hotgri. Now that's an oversight there I've made. You know, light levels won't be quite the same down here on this tier as they would if this wasn't tiered. it's not really a problem or anything. It's not like I'm counting on a specific light level in order to grow my crops at a certain speed or anything like that. It's not like I'm doing that. I'm just putting out seeds. I think I'm gonna call it quits with on the farm with just 2 little plots for now, though. Maybe I'll spam some bone meal. Try to get some more seeds in, because I don't have a lot. Not too many. I'm having trouble focusing as well, but I think that's not because I'm hot grey or anything. I'm not gonna go crazy because I'm like hot grey or anything. That orange wine, has really gone to my head. I ran all the way over there for water, which is kind of funny, right? Because there was water like right here. Now I'm gonna maybe cool my head by sitting at the bottom of this water. Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, so let me go get some bones. I think I'm gonna use all this bone meal on hemp. I need one of them silent mice, Oh, yeah, there's some lag there. I fucked up. I feel like that wasn't very challenging, and yet I managed to fuck up like really easily. That's probably because I was produced through asexual budding, and so like sexual selection was not a factor in my existence, and as such, characteristics that are commonly sexually selected for, like intelligence, charm, wit, mental abilities, physical suitability, none of that was actually sexually selected for in my case, because I was asexually produced, which, I mean, when you think about it, actually explains quite a bit, but not necessarily something a lot of people would initially admit, but in my case it's definitely true. So OJ. And they're not like orange juice wine either, because that's like something you brew behind your toilet. I'm not the kind of person who drinks things you brew behind your toilet. I'm just not. You can brew things behind your toilet. Like if you're one of those people who live in a situation where you can brew things behind your toilet. Now I'm not, obviously, because I have toilet inspections a couple times a week from the county. So like they would find the stuff from behind the toilet like right away. But if you are one of those people who can brew things behind their toilet, you should definitely probably consider orange wine. Okay, so I got some industrial hemp fiber, which is positive. I'm also going to need this very popular novel here, the Akashic Tome. And then this book, the Engineering Manual. I'm gonna need not a hammer. A coke oven. which is co-govern brick. Pretty sure is pretty sure that's clay and sand. Yeah, clay, sand, and bricks. So, it's getting dark. So don't really live anywhere near sand. Is there any sand in this box? There is, but it's no, that's end stone. So that is no. There's no sand. Is there any clay? No, not really. All right, so clay, sand. At least I have a cobalt shovel. Let me look at the map. All right, like if I go west, like 700 blocks. Just it's directly this way. So I'm gonna climb this hill. Well, actually, when there's a thing in the way. All right. Okay. Well, I'll climb. I'll like mine up to it. I'll go up this way, so I can launch from the highest point possible. So I can try to get those 700 blocks in like one go. It caused me a lot of anxiety because it's a very realistic game, and I almost fell, and I feel like I almost fell out of my chair at the same time, and I'm gonna hyperventilate now, but I'll be fine. I'm not gonna get hungry. I'm not gonna overreact. Not gonna get whoa crazy or anything. Yep, I'm getting pretty high. I'm at 175, 177. Okay, is this the right way? Yeah. So we'll run and jump. Flying so high above the clouds, there's the fog level is kind of uselessly there. I could make this. I could make 700 blocks. It's pretty far, but I might make it. Oh, well, no, I guess I'll know eventually, but I may not actually have any game sound. I'm not gonna make it. Looks like I'm gonna make it like maybe 400 blocks. Maybe if I had sung the whole time, I would make it. But I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna make it. Oh, there's a beach there though. It does actually look like I'm gonna make it. To Sandland. Oh yeah, I made it. I made it. Yeah. Okay. No, there is. Okay. I can see that brain slime over there. I don't really like brain slimes. They give me like little panic attacks, and I don't need to get hockery or anything. Or like, you know, get all panicky because of sand. Man, this cobalt shovel, it's crazy fast. I'm just like wrecking this beach. Yeah, that's enough cobalt sand. It's about sand vault. Now I need some clay. I typically find clay in ocean biomes. Oh, there's something on my head. It's back. How does this happen? I don't like it. It's not enjoyable. Okay, there's a big clay deposit here. It'd be cool if I had something with water breathing this early. Yeah, I say early. It is like I've been playing this game like for like the save for like a lot of hours. I'm just not very good with Minecraft. I'm not very good at counting or seeing things that are directly happening in front of my face, or like emergency preparedness, or you know, any of those things. Now, how much clay did I get there? Oh, a bunch. So the recipe is no. Four and four. So if I made 16 and 16 and then had 16 left and then yeah, you get a few. I think I better get some more. Drowning in the river deep. Yeah. It's Minecraft the musical. Speaking of musicals, I saw the Cats trailer, and I think that it's probably time for society to be purged of people who would write, star in. Oh, it's like a mint green sheep, and it's adorable. It's like an aquamarine sheep. You know, write, star, conceive of, view, basically have anything at all to do with the Cats movie. All those people, regardless of their other contributions through their lifetime, should all be purged from the human race. Because I mean, even if you complain about like, you know, asexual selection and how it doesn't necessarily focus on you know, desirable characteristics to preserve in society like intelligence or whatever, even being asexually created, I would never watch Cats. And I don't think I exhibit particularly high standards for myself. So, you know, I'm not like trying to like be like, whoa, kids. It's just, it's pretty much the worst thing I've ever seen. And then the company who spent money on that, and then put Taylor Swift in it, really needs to be like legislated out of existence in some fashion. Like, you know, like them, Equifax, Taco John's. You know, we need to make laws against these people because they're taking advantage of society in ways that's just like, you know, not okay. Digging so deep, the iron underwater. Like I like rocks. Do you like rocks? I do. I can breathe now. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck now. So yeah, Cats is not good. No one should watch Cats. I haven't seen it. I've never seen the musical either. Um, it's always disturbed me, people dressing up as cats in particular. I knew a girl in school as a child who liked to pretend she was a cat, and I really think it was like escapism from being. In retrospect, I'm fairly certain it was like escapism from being molested. And I don't say that jokingly at all. I think she was a victim of a terrible crime against her. And as a result, she chose to pretend to be a cat instead of a normal girl. And I don't think it's right for us to, you know, profit from that sort of victimization of people. So, like, pretending to be a cat, you know, is almost certainly something that only someone who is seriously mentally disabled would do. And pretending to be a cat for money uh, is, really, really bad. Don't do it. If someone offers you money to be a cat in basically any circumstances, don't take that money. It's not okay. Like, that's dirty. That's not clean money. That's not money you make through, like, respectable behavior. It's like dirty cat money. I mean, cats, despite all the licking they do, are not actually particularly clean. And the money that someone would offer you to pretend to be a cat is almost definitely less clean than a cat, right? Which, as we've discussed, is not particularly clean in the first place. So, like, less clean than a cat is money offered to pretend to be a cat in like a film or a play or some sort of weird prostitution capacity. Like, don't do it. Like, you have to have standards about yourself, and one of those standards should be to not accept money to celebrate victimization of young girls through pretending to be a cat. Thank you for coming to my lecture about cats. Home we go. Put some of these bricks on and go cats. No, don't go cats. Don't go to see cats. If you give them money, they're gonna think it's okay to make stuff like cats, and we need to make it clear that people don't think it's okay. We need to, like, express that to the powers that be, that it's not okay to make movies about cats or people dressed as cats. I mean, honestly, a movie that's just about, like, actual cats is probably fine, like a nature documentary, or, like, just like a study of cats, or like anything really, anything but, like, anything at all but people dressing as cats. Like, not that. That's not okay. But, like, I mean, literally pretty much everything else but that's probably just fine. Like, movies about, like, large cats, like, maybe like the movies about lions, movies about, like, meerkats, which I actually don't think meerkats are cats, but you get the idea. Movies about real cats that own hotels and, like have wacky times at them. That's probably fine. Like Cat Hotel, Cat Express Hotel, something like that. Um, those are fine, but movies about people who dress like cats, really probably not okay. And like I said, we need to make sure that other people, specifically Hollywood executives, know this, that it's not okay to make these movies. And really, the only way that they're ever going to learn that is not by not going to those movies, because that might be somewhat effective, but by killing them and their families, to let them know, just like quite like really obviously clearly, hey guys, no, no. So anyways, I think about starting a new building, and I was thinking about the Tomb of Otakar. You guys, oh, where are you going? So Otakar was an Ostrogoth, and he was like basically king of Rome, shortly after the last Western Roman emperor was deposed, and when he basically, he and his people migrated into Italy, to kind of get away from like some other folks who weren't particularly pleasant. And when he died, he had a really nice tomb built. And so this is not the tomb. So I need like a master arch that is five wide, right? So Otakar, right? So he was an Ostrogoth. Now there was only one of these on the side, I guess. So the other thing is that maybe this should actually be 7. So let's do it like that, right? Yeah. So Otakar was the first guy in charge of Rome who wasn't there because he was Roman. 2, 3, 4, 5. So after the plague of Justinian, like northern Italy was essentially totally deserted, because everybody was dead, and but the Ostrogoths, they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They were all right. They were in Illyria, or effectively Illyria, I guess, and they wanted to get away from their neighbors, who, I don't know, were they the Huns? Probably Huns. And so I'm underwater. So they migrated to Italy. So in Italy, in Italy, which was mostly deserted, they took over northern Italy with basically minimal effort, because there were nobody really left there after the plague of Justinian, which was a plague that was all Justinian's fault, which is why it's called the plague of Justinian. I'm kidding. It wasn't actually Justinian's fault. It was just a plague that happened while he was Eastern Roman Emperor. So I don't really know what I'm doing here, so I'm just kind of doing it as I go along. So yeah, Justinian was Eastern Roman Emperor, and Otakar took over Italy, and he pretty much took over all of Italy in his lifetime, and then he died. died, he had a magnificent tomb built. This is definitely not the right way to do this, but I'm kind of just trying to mock up the general idea of what I want to do rather than doing it right away. So yeah, Odoker died. 1, 2, 3, 4. Odoker died. Shit. They built him a tomb. The Ostrogoths controlled Italy for a couple hundred years afterwards, and then they were supplanted by the Lombards, and the Lombards were some German folks, and basically everybody in Italy, northern Italy at least, today is actually not of Italian origin, which is to say they are recently of Italian origin, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But rather, they're Lombards. This is fun facts. People, the Latins and the other peoples of the Po Valley who are native, maybe that's not the right word, endemic to northern Italy, are extinct. And the people who live in northern Italy now are descendant from Ostrogoths, who may or may not be from southern Sweden, what is today southern Sweden, and Germans, Germanic people called the Lombards, who are from the area of more or less what we call Belgium today. And then for the fun facts, yeah, other fun facts. Don't ever tell an Italian person what I just said, because they'll probably be horribly offended. They'll be like, "No, I'm Italian." Oh, that's kind of racist. I shouldn't do that. They'll be horribly offended if you tell them that their ancestors are actually Germans. They'll be like, "That's fucking bullshit," which is fair, because that is kind of bullshit, but it's accurate bullshit. So let me go look at this from the outside and see if it looks weird or what. It's bigger than I thought it was. Which famously is something that she said. So Minecraft being what it is, I don't understand the game well enough to make this at all. If you look at Dodoris's tomb, I don't see how I'm going to do it the same way. Because it's like 12-sided. But I don't think you can actually do that in Minecraft. Make something 12-sided. So, I mean, maybe I won't build this. But, I mean, honestly, that little folly out there doesn't look half bad. And if I were to do that in a circular shape, probably be fine. Turning off the switch because I don't need any more of that. Like if I were to just use that as like a seven circle, which is gonna be like what, like get this rock out of the way here. Yeah. That's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. I fucked that up somehow. And how did I do that? I gotta put this in the wrong spot. I'm putting down blocks. Couple different techniques there. Need some steak. Saturate. I can hear my neighbor's phone ringing and I don't like it. the guy who looks exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger, except, God damn it, except if Arnold Schwarzenegger never worked out for a day in his life, you know, that Nice to Meet You guy. Don't tell him I called him that. It's really fucking rude. Oh man. My fucking chisel broke. I don't know why there needed to be that like really dramatic chisel break there, but that's Minecraft for you, I guess. Like it went and like pieces shattered everywhere, and it was like in slow-mo as well. It was like really fucking unnecessary. I mean, I don't like it at all. I don't like it. That's not why I do it. It's not what I'm into. Oh. I'm doing so well. Just silver now. Yeah, okay. Don't know for sure, but I did design it here with two out. So I'm pretty sure I can just do that all the way around. I'm definitely gonna need more cobblestone. Did not bring enough. Also need a new chisel because that dramatic chisel break was very dramatic as well. Right, like that, right? Chisel break, oh, chisel break, chisel break, chisel break. Well, I'm getting kind of hungry in here. So I might have a breakdown. It's kind of warm. Going down a chisel grill. That's actually kind of old too. Okay, so I can definitely do that now. I know that, right? Fill these gaps with ordinary cobblestone. I need to connect these so probably just to that, right? Which doesn't look great, but it will work. you know, it's just, you know, fun buildy build time, buildy time, buildy build, the time we buildy build. Woo! Meow meow meow, it's cats, cats, cats. Don't cat sing no cat songs. Cats are now illegal in Tennessee. Is there any wire? No, there's wire over here. Don't let people pay you to pretend to be cats. If you have any self-respect, you will not take money from people who want you to be a cat. Don't do it. Have some fucking self-respect and don't dress up as a cat for money. You shouldn't do that. No self-respecting adult would do that. Don't dress like a cat. No matter how much they pay you, don't dress like a cat. No matter how much they offer. A respectable person would not take money to dress up as a cat. No matter how much. If you jack it to a cat person, you are scarred for life, and you can never tell your mom what you did. She won't understand why you are dressed up like that. Don't ever dress like a cat. Even if they offer you money, don't ever dress like a cat. Even if they offer you lots of cat money is worthless in real life. There's no such thing as cat money, I lied. You should definitely not accept money from people who want you to dress like a cat. Don't do it. What the shit block do you want from me? Sandstone. Don't ever accept money from people who want you to dress like a cat. Where'd it go? I think I've sung enough of my cat song for anyone who is on the edge about like whether they should do that or not. But just to be clear, don't take money from people who want you to dress like a cat. It's like they don't want you to dress like a cat for a good reason. How about I just put it that way? Like, it's not like people are like, oh, please dress like a cat just for fun. No, that's not what's going on there. They don't want you to dress like a cat just for fun. I don't want to tell you why they want you to dress like a cat, but like, if they're looking at you and they're like, yeah, maybe dress like a cat. Don't do it. Like, I'm not trying to be like weird or anything about it. Like, just don't. Have some self-respect, and don't ever dress like a cat for money. I don't want you to dress like a cat for free either. But realistically, I'm not sure I can expect that of the Twitch audience. Like, I think there's a possibility that the Twitch audience might have certain proclivities towards dressing like a cat that I can't really talk them out of. So I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna, say, don't ever dress like a cat for money. Like it's really not okay. Like no matter what anyone tells you. And people will try to lead you astray as well. They will try to tell you that it's totally okay to dress like a cat for money, but it is not okay to dress like a cat for money. Like I can't really reiterate that enough. Like, why is it not okay to dress like a? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because people are having you dress like a cat and deriving sexual pleasure from it, and like that's not okay. Because cats can't consent. So dressing like a cat is like dressing like a creature that can't consent, and that's really fucked up. It's like basically it's like dressing like a baby or something. So and you shouldn't do that either, because like that is also not right. You should not dress as a baby for the purpose of entertaining people sexually. Like that's not okay. In case you were wondering, that is also not okay. Don't dress like a cat or a baby for money, because people are really perverted and they want to jack off to it. You shouldn't participate in that, because people with self-respect don't dress as cats or babies. I figure if I say it in song, it'll be like catchy, and then maybe like that seems to work with like religion, so it probably works good with like basic human decency as well, right? Don't ever hurt people for fun. Yeah, see, like it's a catchy tune as well. So like if you sing, don't ever slap people just to see how red their face gets, no matter what. Like, that's, I feel like that's pretty, like that's going to be effective, right? No, I didn't think so. So I'm pretty sure I should build this out of smooth stone slabs up at the top. Now, it's like a really, really, really bad copy of Theodoric's. Theodoric, the Ostrogoths mausoleum. It doesn't really look very good, but I guess I tried. And then we can put a coal furnace in there. Yeah, okay, so there's no extra box in here. I mean, inside it looks okay, I guess. Now, the thing I was looking at here is like if I just fill this block, yeah, it looks quite a bit better. Those don't look right at all, though. Those just like horizontal slats. Yeah, this is like a case of like not knowing much about building in Minecraft, and knowing a lot more about like telling people not to dress as cats for money. Like I feel like I got a lot of expertise in that regard. 1, 2, 3, 4, but I don't necessarily have the same level of expertise in that regard that I do with telling people not to fucking, be fucking perverts, or rather encourage perverts. Because again, given the Twitch audience, I don't think I'm going to be able to tell people not to be perverts. but I will be able to tell them. I will be able to tell them, however, that they shouldn't accept money for perverted behavior. I don't know. Maybe that's futile. How do I correct this? How do I make that into a mini arch? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe half? I believe this is right. It's totally not okay, by the way, to dress like a cat for money. What else is new? Oh, Picard, right? How cool does that look? I love Captain Picard. Captain Picard is like my personal moral angel on my moral shoulder of compasses. I really, really like Captain Picard. And I'm super psyched about CBS producing another television show because they do really good at making television shows. Like, they're really good at it. They're super good. They're really known for doing a real good job with television shows. I say that, but that's I like Discovery. Not enough to pay them money for it, but I do like Discovery. And I've only seen free Discovery. No, I've seen the first season of Discovery. I haven't gotten around to the second season. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I will someday pay for some of it at some point. I don't like the idea of subscribing to a service for a single show, and I feel like they're really taking advantage of Star Trek, and I love Star Trek. I'm actually an asexual clone of Gene Roddenberry. That's not true. But if I was, I would be proud of it. I like Star Trek: The Next Generation the most. I don't like New Trek because I don't see how that has anything to do with Star Trek. Having watched New Trek a couple times, the three movies, they're just like generic action films, and they're not even really set in the Star Trek universe. It's really fucking bad, and J.J. Abrams should probably be taken out in shots for making them. I don't think I'm going too far there either. Like, capital punishment for hurting me and the things I love. I guess I'm kind of in favor of that. I should have not broken those. That seems rather wasteful now. And maybe that's childish. It's probably childish. But if you like it, you're an asshole. It's true. J.J. Abrams' Star Trek is a crime against humanity, and one day there'll be a reckoning for people like him who destroy stuff while having spiky hair. That's another thing. I don't like his hair. And you know, I also don't like him. Did I mention I don't like J.J. Abrams? Not a fan of J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams killed my family. Well, in as much it's appropriate to use the terminology family to describe the other things that came from my petri dish. You know, I mean, is that right? No, it's almost certainly not right. But that is it's easily understandable, right? So. I'm almost done with this shit roof. I'm gonna put one there, and then I will go in here, and I'll put that like that. And break all these ones that are not making this a dome. I don't think this turned out very well. I guess it was a try. That's something, right? I tried. Yeah, you gotta try. In the end, that's really all you can do. Right, so what I was thinking was like, if I give the illusion. It's an illusion, Michael. Tricks are pros. The illusion of an arch. Of that. Okay. I mean, I'm standing on here, so I don't think that should be read. Just saying. There's a lot of things I don't think should be read, and the doctor tells me they shouldn't be read either. But, you know, they look red. Okay, so yeah, you know, this is definitely an improvement. This kind of like flat version here. Like that. And then I need to get some wood in these lower parts here too. So let's see. Looking at that though, I feel like I need a stair there. So I'm gonna get my hatchet. Hatchet. Here it is. And then I'm gonna get this, and this. Don't ever take money from people to dress like a cat because they're going to masturbate to it whether you like it or not. Yeah, they're probably jacking in the room where they claim they're editing. They probably are, and that's gross. Not that masturbation is inherently disgusting, but masturbating to a cat is. It's true. Don't ever take money from people who want you to dress like a cat, because they're gonna jack off to it. And not like in a haha jack off way. Not in a like, oh, I'm just jacking it, lol. But in a like, oh yeah kind of way. That's as far as I'm taking that too, because I don't want that to be amusing. Like, it's not funny. So yeah, I don't like how that worked. One possibility is like this, like an arch over the whole thing. Like that. That's one possibility. Oh, what? Kick the fucking camera. I just fell off. I was too busy trying to be even less professional than I am. And I'm starting to get hungry, so it's not going well. And I'm out of lyrics for the cat song, the Don't Dress Like a Cat song. Oh yeah, that's what I'll do. Give me this. No, not this. This. What about that? It's a little heavy, but I think it looks good. It certainly looks better than you would look dressed as a cat. Meow. I apologize for making that sexy cat noise. It's not a laughing matter. I realize that now, and you know, I didn't really realize that when I made the sexy cat noise, so I made it, and you know, I thought it was funny, but it wasn't funny. Like, it's not okay. So I want to issue a formal apology. It is not funny. Please, please, please don't take money to dress like a cat. If you have any self-respect at all, you'll really regret it. And like, you know, you don't need regrets in your life. No regrets. No cat-based regrets. Is a pretty sound policy, if you ask me. Don't do things that you know people are gonna jack it to for money when those things have cats in them. And it's not like special treatment. I mean, it's true for cats. It's true for babies. You should also not do them for dogs. Anything that can't say yes is pretty good policy to avoid accepting money to dress like. Now, if you're one of those people who wants to pay people money to do those things, don't do that either. Just don't do that. Resist the urge to give people funds and have them dress like a cat in return. Like, don't do it. That's not a good thing for you to do. Alright, so as mentioned, I need to get some wood down here, so now that I think about it, I don't think that sound is actually my neighbors. I think that sound might be my wife playing video games, which, you know, it's forbidden in our house, and it's not really surprising to me that when I'm not in the room, she breaks all the rules. You know, that's the kind of person she is. She's a rule breaker, and that's why I married her. I was like, baby, I like the way you break rules. And she was like, meow, I'll dress like a cat for money. No, she would never dress like a cat for money. Do you know why? Because she has self-respect, kids. Don't ever dress like a cat for money, or no one will ever love you. Your parents will cut you off, and you will fucking deserve it. Don't make sexy cat noises ever. It's really fucking inappropriate. How's that look? Okay, well, you know, well, we're gonna put some support columns in there to give it some dimensionality. Looks like shit, but it's something. Yeah, I feel like, you know, I've contributed a bit today to society by making up that song about not dressing like a cat, because it's obvious that society needed that song, because fucking people are taking money to dress like a cat in Hollywood of all places. You know, which is like, you know, where we get all our morals from. I mean, I get all my morals from various Hollywood films, such as Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And, you know, that's perfectly acceptable, obviously, getting your morals from such films as Indiana Jones 5, to be named. That's fine. Everybody knows it's fine because, you know, Indiana Jones is not a cat. Indiana Jones is a real human being, and as such, it's okay to. Oh no, that's not right. It's okay to take inspiration from him because he's not a cat. It's not okay to take people's money to dress like a cat, as we mentioned in the song. You know, I think we all learned a lot in regards to that. We all learned that human Western society has become a gutter where people will pay you to dress as a fucking cat, and that even people who are worth like a lot of money, like maybe almost $1 billion, like people who are worth like almost $1 billion, who will be named, even those people will take money to dress as a cat, because I don't know why they would do that. If you had that much money, would you do that? And the answer should be no. In case you forgot the lessons we learned earlier, that you should not accept money to dress like a cat, even if that's your thing, because people need, there needs to be lines in society. Society needs standards, and one of those standards that society definitely needs is not to take money to dress like a cat. Like it's really, you know, it's pretty much plain as day. You know, you don't really need to do that, and society really needs you as a participant in it. Society really needs you to make good decisions regarding that issue. You know, because you know, we can't police your behavior all the time, but we shouldn't have to in regards to dressing like a cat for sex or movies or sex movies. There's a big hole here. Well, so, you know, the mausoleum is a mausole. I was hoping to one day have grass like this. Maybe it'll happen. I like the interior. It looks cool in here, right? It's like, woo! I need to go upstairs, though, and put up some more fences. So I'll go right here. Eat some steak on the top of a pillar. It's like when I'm like on a seat, right? Who are those people who stood on top of pillars? They're like a religious movement during the early Christian era. They're not called pillar people, so I don't suggest that. They're called stellites. The stellites. The stellites. And they would climb to the top of a stele, which is a column, and they would not come down. And people would bring them food on like ladders and shit. So they generally wouldn't starve to death, but it wasn't like nice up there or anything. And then they would poop on people and stuff. Like that's well established. And they would just kind of live up there. I don't know how they slept up there. They probably fell off, would be my guess. They probably fell off quite a bit. While they were up there, it's kind of like being sealed up, and like people did that too, which you might not know, unless you pay a lot of attention to like crazy fucking people doing weird shit. Like people would like pay the church money, and they would get sealed, like bricked into a room in the church, and they would do this as like a sign of religious devotion. They would like put themselves away from society. And actually, thinking about it, considering where we are with the whole like dressing like a cat for money thing, I don't actually know that I'm far away from that. Like maybe I should look into paying the church money, so I don't have to live in a world where people get paid. People who are like really, really rich get paid money. People who are like already extremely wealthy. I don't have to live in a world where those people take money to dress as a cat. Okay, so this is like really ugly. It's pretty much one of the worst things I've ever built. But I did build it, so that's something. And buildings are cool. Buildings are definitely cooler than, say, like getting paid money to dress as a cat. So you know, I didn't like build any doors or walls into that building. So I think I should probably take another look at that aspect. What I think I want to do is like do this. Kind of fill up the arch. Just like I want to kind of like fill up a wall and make sure I'm behind it because of the whole cat thing. Like fill up a place in the world where you don't have to see the fact that people are getting paid to be cats. There definitely doesn't need to be a door on every side. Fuck. This feels like historical. I like this idea of kind of blocking off the inside with cobblestone. That feels like something like the Italians would do because they're not really interested in putting too much money into like protection of their historical legacy, because they would rather spend it on paying people to dress up as cats. Now that's offensive. You know, the average Italian person doesn't want to do that either. In fact, you know, I would say that like there's a pretty good chance that very few people want to pay someone to dress up as a cat, even in Italy, or you know, anywhere like Libya or Iran or you know, basically any country where there's any sort of like people. It's pretty unlikely that the majority of those people are going to want really anything to do with like weird cat fetishes. Like they're not going to be into that like at all. Like you wouldn't be able to like trick them into it either. Like they really just would like be like, what? No, why would I want that? I like the dimensionality of having the door in one. I think I'm probably not really. I don't think there's actually a word dimensionality, but I'm still using it because it's good times. This is still really huge, like this. That's what she said. Whew. Ah. Whew. You like jokes? I like jokes. Two, three, four. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I think this kind of looks like there is a tomb in here, right? Like with this big black accent. All right, it kind of looks like there's a tomb in here. All right, so I'm gonna put a ladder in now. I think this is like a good sneaky place to put it in. Oh, that is also what she said. A good sneaky place to put it in. Right? Am I right? Is that, do you guys think that's funny? I think that's pretty funny. I say you guys, but there's nobody watching. I still think it's pretty funny. So now you can now go about your rotunda. And there's nothing up here because this building is mostly decorative, but there is a coke furnace in the middle of it that I think looks a bit like Theodoric's tomb. I'm actually pretty sure Theodoric is not in the tomb anymore. I think despite the fact that that was like 1400 years ago, I also think that they took his body out at some point because like people are like notorious grave robbers, and they're like really bad about it. Like people are really shitty, and they'll dig into a grave, and they'll take the person out of it and just like throw it on the ground. And you know, I mean, your temporal body not particularly important, right? Like, you know, I'm not like hung up on the idea of like my everlasting resting place being disturbed, but I think it's pretty disrespectful if you were like, you know, if you were like an Ostrogoth and you traveled all the way to Italy and you conquered it and you know you made a new home for your people there. I think it would be pretty disrespectful if someone then, you know, went to your grave and took your body out and threw it on the ground. I think that'd be kind of gross. Yeah, like you probably shouldn't do it. Like it's probably not cool to do that at all. You just, you know, freshen up the tools. This has 6 modifiers remaining, and I should probably put fortune on it. This is 5. This has 4, and this is none. This I picked this up from a place, from a castle or something. Speaking of, how does this work? Electro blobs. Am I spelling that correctly? Electro blob. Yeah, that works better. Spell books and stuff. Tome. The Wizard's Handbook. I need a Wizard's Handbook. So a single block of dirt, 2 blocks of snow, and a pumpkin together. The cash down. Inventory generators. I'm into that. Electroblob. The Wizard's Handbook. I feel like the name Electroblob really kind of takes me out of, you know, really reduces my immersion. A magic wand crafted with a gold nugget, a stick, and a magic crystal. An arcane workbench crafted with 3 stone, 1 lapis lazuli block, 2 magic crystals, 2 gold nuggets, and a purple carpet. Okay. So I need that. I need a purple carpet, which is interesting because I don't have that. Here's what I'm going to do though. I'm going to take all this. That as well, that and that, and that, and that's it there. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna go upstairs here in the red tower, and I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put that in there. It's very magical, and then I'm also gonna come back down and go to the crystal place, which was here. I got a lot of them, and go back up here and put these in here too. Right. So I need a purple carpet. Oh, that hurt. That hurt me inside IRL. I did a bunch today. I did a bunch of mining. I made 2 farms. I did not do mechanism dribbling. So I can take that off. I can take that off. I built a building. I did not secure. I did not avenge my family. I did not do any water activities, and I'm not totally sure what water activities I was supposed to be doing. I didn't do any power. I didn't do any space travel, flight. I didn't really explore magic, but I did read 2 pages of the magic book, and that's something, right? So I was accomplishing something vaguely useful. I'm definitely gonna come back for some time tomorrow on this game, but not a whole lot. I think I'm gonna play some Assassin's Creed instead, because I'm looking forward to playing that game as well. Some. Okay, and so let me sleep. Let me go outside, take a new screenshot too. From over here. I mean, it looks a bit like a basilica. Cool. That's a cool one. Okay.